Hey guys, of course, you already know it's Monday, 7:30. And I'm your girl, Amanda Miller with 105.7 The Phase. Guys, before we get started, I want to tell you guys to make sure you download our mobile app. Make sure you have, I'm going to adjust this thing a little bit. Um, Hold on. One second, just trying to bring on. So guys, make sure, as I mentioned, you download the mobile app. Um, Make sure you've gone to our webpage, 105.7 on our internet site. See all the things that we offer. Hey girl,
Hey, ma'am.
I like that hair. I like that hair.
Yours too.
So Beth, we're here. So just go to the 105 page and not 105, Lord Jesus, Amanda Miller Talks page. And you should be able to join the chat. Let me see. Let me see.
She's on here. Hi, Beth.
Okay, Beth. Hey, girl.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So yeah, make sure you guys. Hey, Q. Make sure you guys download the mobile app. Make sure you go to our sites. Make sure you go ahead and tag and share.
Yes.
Bring people in the room because this is going to definitely be a hot, great discussion. So please, please, please go ahead, tag and share. So what you thinking? Not necessarily your thoughts, but you think it's gonna be a good one?
Oh, yes, definitely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I think it's going to be a very good topic because people will have so many different views
That's
on
right.
what we're
That's
talking
right.
about.
That's
So,
and that's what I tell people all the time. People have their different viewpoints.
mm-hmm.
So we respect their viewpoints, even if it's different from ours.
That's right.
I be the first one to say that. Come down and say that.
Don't make it right. That's right.
Just because Nanda said it doesn't make it right. And that's the beauty of our show. We're not trying to educate people and tell them what's right, what's wrong. We're
That's right.
saying, here's our thoughts, here's what we experience, here's our outlook on it. We want to hear your outlook on it.
See.
Maybe someone take away something from it
Mm-hmm.
in the process of having table talk. That's what this show is about. We're not trying to be the psychologists or psychiatrists or the counselors of anybody's lives. These are our opinions. We want to hear yours and we welcome them. So guys, go
That's right.
ahead, tag and share. Mello, I see you. Let me see if I can.
Oh, Mellow's on. Yeah.
Okay, so Mello, I said to invite your way. But guys, we'll let people go ahead and come in the room.
Yes.
Go ahead, tag, share, and let people come in the room because we definitely want to hear from the males.
There
Mello,
go
there she
Mellow.
is. Casey definitely is going to try to join us. Next time we're on. But he's still trying to figure out how to join the live. I said, Casey, by now you should be gonna learn how to join the live.
Don't do Casey like that.
I'm finna do KC.
What you say to
Now, ain't nothing but a click of a button.
Right,
Well,
right,
maybe he
right.
don't see it, Mellow. Maybe he don't
He
see
keeps talking
the
about something.
button.
I need a new phone. I need a new phone.
Lord have mercy. So what's going on? How everybody doing today?
Yes, yes. Joe and I was just talking about how we think this is gonna really be a good one. We want to go ahead and tag and share people
That's
and
right.
bring them in the room. I'm gonna go ahead and do the same on my end as you guys go ahead and do the same on yours. Because again, we definitely want to hear these opinions as Zoe and I was saying um, today, because it's gonna be interesting to hear people's viewpoints. So yeah, let's talk about it. So yeah. All right. So guys, go ahead as you come on, tag and share. As I mentioned, go ahead and download the 105.7 The Face mobile app. Make sure you've gone out to our webpage at 105.7 The Face to see what we have to offer um, this month and beyond. You know, we got our Easter egg hunt coming up. We got things going on for spring break. So check out the website, check out the 105.7 The Face webpage, whether it's on Facebook or IG. Just, you know, keep tuned in to the things that we got going. But yet again, guys, we are talking today about young men. Hey, Cabrina. Hey, girl, what's up, Coco? Thank you for tuning in. And so, you know, from Coco's standpoint, I know she got two boys and a girl. And both of her sons has done very well in that space of rearing. And so, guys, we are talking about today. Please tag and share. Hey, Casey, what's up? Go ahead and tag and share to your people. We are talking about, is it essential? Thank you, girl. Is it essential for a boy, for there to be a two-parent household, for boys to be driven and successful in this space that we call growing up to be a man? Miss Keisha, we want your yeah. Please, guys, tag and share on this one, because this can be a great discussion if we have people keying in, tuning in and sharing their opinions. So Mello, now Zoe, we're gonna start with you today.
Oh, okay. Just call me on out. Okay, let's go.
What's your thoughts on it?
A two-parent household. Now we said, does it take a two-parent household for him to be prosperous?
For a young boy to be driven, because you know a lot of times people will say, oh, a woman can't raise a man,
Right.
a boy to
Right.
be a man. They'll say a boy need a man in the household in order to be successful or to grow up to be a man. I think differently. Now let me start off saying,
Okay,
I am an advocate for a two-parent household.
that's right.
Um, I would love for us to be, meaning African American people, in a good place where there are consistency and high numbers of a two-parent household.
I would agree.
I will start by saying I would love to see a healthy two-parent household. And that's the key word for me.
That's
Because
right.
when I hear that and people just say a two-parent household, well, you can have a man and a woman in a household, and there's discord all the time and toxic an environment, and that's all the boy learns. So for me, is it really essential to have a two-parent household, or is it essential to have a two-parent household where it's a healthy atmosphere of values and behaviors that are simulated into that young man's development to end up being a young man? That's my
Right. And I think I'm on the same page with you. Whether it's one parent or the two parents, it depends on the parents that are there rearing that child and how involved they are in that child's life and what they're showing that child. And like you said, what things am I instilling in my child? What values and principles am I instilling in that child? Whether it's one person or two, if we're not on the same page and neither one of us are driven to do anything, right? How are we going to show that to our child? A child is going to mimic what they see for the most part from a household. So if it's toxic, they're going to mimic a toxic behavior. If you're driven and they see you driven and they see that you're going after what you want to and you're willing to try different things, you're willing to fail, they're going to be willing to do those same things. So it just depends on whether it's, no matter if it's one person or two people in that household, just like you said, it depends on the two or the one individual that's helping to rear that child and bring that child up.
I agree. Nella, what about you?
That's why you deal with the parents and the children every day, all day.
I mean, honestly, like, you know, two-parent households, the dynamics have changed greatly today.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you have some two-parent households of two fathers, two mothers, you know.
Oh, very true.
So I feel like, you know, it just is really contingent upon where the parent is in their life, their parental style, how both of them parent as well. I don't think it necessarily matters if it's a one or two parent household, because
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I feel like if the mother or the father that's raising the child is being a great example and providing, you know, stability and things like that, I think that those are things that the child would learn and that they would you know, take. Also, you know, just for me, like, you know, I was raised in a single parent household, but I did have my father around. So I think that it's important for boys to have a father figure in their
I
life.
agree.
Um, and it doesn't necessarily have to be their father. It could be their cousin. It could be
That's
their
right.
uncle. It could be a friend of the family. You know,
A
I
great
do think that it's
mentor.
essential for a
Mm-hmm.
man to have a boy to have some type of male presence in their lives. Again, like I said, doesn't mean that they have to be raised in a two-parent household.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's just my opinion.
I'd agree. Because what about your village? We talk about that so much, right? So let me speak on my situation. I don't have a son, but I have a daughter. But even with the daughter, I think now a male is important to raise a male, but I think a male is important when you're raising girls too,
Yes,
because that's the first guy that's the first relationship that that girl sees, right? How he treats how he treats you as a mother, his woman, and then how he treats that daughter, right? So I think even that dynamic is important in a relationship, whether it be a boy or a girl. So a male presence is definitely needed. But again, to Melo's point, guess what? My daughter's father is not involved, but thank God I have a father. She has a grandfather, she has an uncle, she has cousins, she has a brother that can help her in those areas. So it just depends on who that village is. Now, yeah, a woman may not be able to raise a man and teach a man everything, but it doesn't necessarily have to be his father that teaches him how to be a man either.
right.
So let me dive into some of these comments very quickly. So Coco said, my sons were driven. They were on 10,000s. However, I think it shows up later. And she's been a great um, single mom. And when I say single mom, I'm not saying the boys didn't have, like we just stated, role models
Right.
in their homes. You know, they've college, they've pledged, they've always been great stand-up boys.
Mm-hmm.
You know, always been driven in school. Because again, I believe that mothers that don't have that male presence in the household, they do ensure their boys have role models, or either they go hard to ensure that their boys have the essentials, the right values, the people in place that they can see that are doing great things. And so they can mimic those behaviors because they know they have that missing piece. So Jeff said, yes, both parents should try to raise our young men to all that they can be, supportive on something that they choose to do positive things to help change the world of good for mankind. Daryl Johnson said, hello, awesome people. Daryl, we want to hear from you. Q, Quaylen said it's based on like pretty much to what Zoe said. It's based on the type of parent. It's definitely not essential to success.
Right.
And so that's my whole point is when we say it takes a man to raise a boy, I want to hear from people who believe that and what aspect.
That's
Because when
right.
we talk about success and driven, it doesn't mean that they're not going to be successful and driven. Now, there are some things that a father figure can teach a man, teach their boys, like Zoe said, some of the things that women may not, but then you allow for whomever it takes a village, to her point, whomever that's going to be that role model as a male in their life to be that positive missing piece. Someone told me the father can teach the boy how to go out there and cut the grass, how to work on cars, how to change oil. And see, for me, yeah, I get all of that. But life for a boy or a man is bigger than changing the oil. It's
That's right.
bigger than knowing how to cut the grass.
Very
It's
true.
bigger than how as a man, or you setting the foundation in your home that your child can go out here and take values, work behaviors, and be successful in life. What are those things that you're teaching? Well, how is your son going to be able to treat the woman that he's dating? Because in my mind, if you're in the house and the only thing you're doing is teaching him how to cut the grass and change the oil and things like that to be a man, but you always arguing and cursing at the mom and
Yeah.
fussing at her,
That's
those
That's
are the
right.
behaviors
out.
he learns.
That's
Mm-hmm.
right. And
That's
to
what's
Melo's point, times have changed. Women can know how to cut grass. I know
hey,
how to cut my grass. Now
mom,
that don't mean I like to do it, but I know how to do it. You got some women that know how to work on cars that can teach their sons the exact same thing. Now I don't know how to work on them, but I can tell my daughter this how you need to check. This way you check your oil. This how you know the size of your tire. Basic stuff. But our roles have changed because again the black family dynamic has changed quite a bit. So we've had to step up to the plate to do things that other women maybe didn't have to do in a household with a man. But to your point and Melo's point, you teaching him how to cut the grass and change the oil, but then he don't know how to talk to and respect anybody.
exactly.
What type of male are you raising even at that point?
That's right. So it is definitely bigger than teaching them how to stand up and pee.
That-
It's definitely, I mean, real talk.
that's
It's
true.
definitely bigger than because people really believe, and maybe this is a thing that they didn't do because times change. They feel like even as a woman, we don't talk to our boys about sex. Well, I mean, I'm not every woman, but I do. I mean, I
That's right.
talk to my son about using birth, make sure you wear condoms, make sure you take them with you. I mean, I ain't got to tell you how to put it on. I mean, I can, if you got sense enough to know how to figure out how to put it on, but if it comes down to it, let's go get a cucumber, let's go get a banana, let's go get whatever it takes to teach you how to put it on.
Do not go get no cucumber.
Well,
Do
you
not.
know what I mean.
No.
I mean, if
No.
we have to, like you
Get
said,
something to teach to show the boy how to put it on.
they're right.
I feel like I think when you get into this question too, of it takes a man to raise a man, I think this, and I'm probably about to go off, but I'm gonna come back. I think that a lot of people equate like homosexual men to not having father figures in their lives, especially like the men that are more flamboyant than others. That's definitely not a true statement because I know, some gay men who were raised in a two-parent household
Mm-hmm.
and still just as feminine as they want to be, but still can do the manly man things that need to be done. So I think for me, I think that sometimes when like if you like you look at like videos and stuff like I know I saw a video with this little boy. It was a group of girls, and then it was a little boy that came at the end. He was like a major red or something like that, and he hit that little move. And all you see is the men in the comments like, "Where his father? He needs a father." His father may be present, but that may just again be a choice that he's making, something that he truly wants to do. Even the most recent viral post with the young man with the purple on,
Yes, I was
with
just about to say
the,
that.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
the father who is a Muslim man who does not believe in homosexuality took his son to the prom or escort.
Yeah.
There
Mm-hmm.
were a lot of people in the comments saying, "Oh, he condoning it. That boy need a man in his life. He got a man in his life, obviously. But what that man showed him when he showed up for him that day is how to really be a man. And I think that people get misconstrued what a man is. A man is just not somebody who can change the oil, who can lay
Right.
bricks, who can fix cars. A man is a man that can protect, provide, that can show up, that knows how to love,
Mm-hmm.
That
that
knows
knows
how to treat people. I ain't gonna say a woman, but people. Because if you
people.
don't know how to tap into your emotions and control your emotions
Don't
and
matter.
have emotional intelligence and know how to communicate and treat people, people say, I'm a gentleman. Well, I tell people all the time, being a gentleman is more than just opening doors and holding
That's
hands and
right.
carrying packages.
Exactly.
That's right. You think
It's
about success when we
different.
say
So if those
successful
young
and
boys don't learn how to do those type of things,
mm-hmm.
you're doing a
Mm-hmm.
disjustice to your son, because now he can learn, he know how to cut grass,
Mm-hmm.
he know what better yet, he know how to push a lawnmower,
Mm-hmm.
he knows how to change oil, he's not afraid to do mechanical things around the house, but yet he lacks how to socialize and treat people. Let me read some of these comments, guys. Make sure you guys are still tagging and sharing. Casey said, I was raised in a single parent household and she is my grandmother. Y'all know grandmothers don't play.
That's right.
They
That's
they
right.
took
Capri says, how children see each parent is vital. It creates
Mm-hmm.
a mutual respect for moms and dads. That is an issue, right? So it's vital the way that they see, like we're saying, the
Mm-hmm.
examples that you're setting. Now, what you're and you can teach them in your actions, meaning the cutting the grass, the changing the oils. But it's essential that they see you in a role of being a man.
Mm-hmm.
And that's so much more than the mechanics of things
Mm-hmm.
that we teach our boys. Antonio said, my mom raised me and my brother solo for the majority of our lives. We are both truck drivers, and my brother has his own business. She taught us so much. That said, I was adopted into a two-parent household. I already had another child, and both parents were serious workaholics. Both did the best they could, but honestly, I was brought in for tax purposes. They get more money for two children. See what I'm saying? For the wrong
Mm-hmm.
reasons, they seems like they brought her in. Mine taught me how to cook. That's Antonio. And I try to get my son in there, and you're right. And I try to teach him how to cook. Basically, how to do things on your own. Because what you do, you want to be able to take care of yourself. Because at the end of the day, yes, it's essential as you get. I'm not gonna say essential. It'll be nice if you want to get older and you have a wife or a girlfriend that helps you with these things. But if you don't, you got to know how to take care of you.
right.
And so mom has to teach you, if she's the only person in that household,
Mm-hmm.
how to do these things to take care of you.
That's right.
And you know what? Not to cut you off.
No, go
Really,
ahead.
mothers offer. We just focusing on fathers in the household, but mothers are really what put it together. That's the glue. You know what I'm saying? Like mothers teach you how to be nurturing. They teach
Mm-hmm.
you how to understand and how to be compassionate. Not saying that men are not that. I mean, my father was definitely not compassionate with me growing up. He wasn't, and he was a great dad. I love
Mm-hmm.
my daddy to death,
Mm-hmm.
but he was not that guy for me. Like he was not that guy. But when it came to teaching me stuff, like my daddy taught me how to cut grass, I could never understand for the life of me why this man want me out here cutting grass. But he had me outside cutting grass and would complain because the lines wasn't straight, you know. But then on the flip side to that, my mom and my stepmother, they kind of were more nurturing and more compassionate. Like, hey, like let's teach her some other things. Maybe we can teach her how to run the lawnmower company. The
That's right.
landscaping. So I think that we put an emphasis on fathers being present in the household, but mothers are essential too. And there are some households where mothers are not present, and
That's right.
that is and I'm not trying to be funny or nothing, but most of the families that I've worked with and the mother has not been present, those kids are missing out, especially daughters.
Mm.
Now you want
actually tagged men that have daughters that they're raising, and I wish they had came on the live because I would love to hear from them. There are single parent households where men are raising their daughters, and my thing is, if we're saying that women may be missing out on the girls are missing out on women being in the household with them, it's important to be opposite of what we said about the boys, that they have a role model in their life. The mothers aren't there. The other half of that is them having role models, so that they can see, whether that's lady at school, counselors, or whomever, where they can see those things too, to be successful and driven. Beth said, if I could, hold on, she said, oh, Cabria said, so one thing that I would say is moms can be softer on issues that men consider to be things to create a strong man as a woman. B may not be privy to what we may not be privy to, meaning the women. And I think that's where that comes from. Y'all can say it to tag and share. I think that's where that comes from, because they feel like we are softer, right? So they're thinking that men can be in the household and be hard to discipline these boys. But then here's where I say you still have to know how to communicate with your sons, because nobody wants to start to date a boy that you don't even have compassion. You don't even know how to have empathy. You don't even know how to be soft in areas for people or women, because my dad taught me to be so tough.
That's
no
right.
one that wants to deal with that, because you feel like I gotta be so hard. And I think that comes from the old school way of raising, that we have taught our boys to be so tough. So that's where that comes from. That our boys need their fathers.
That's right.
Because we want to teach it, because women are so softer in those areas.
But that's because everybody's making everything about roles.
A role,
you a man. You got to do this if you're a woman. You can't do that. You can't do this. My grandmother, my daddy's mother, she was a hard woman. Very stern, very tough. I mean, she raised my daddy like with an iron fist, okay? Like, my daddy is a very strong man because of my grandmother. So that's why I say it don't. I don't necessarily say that a man needs a man, but he did have male figures in his life. He did have uncles. He did have cousins. You know, stuff like that, to teach him things that my grandmother couldn't teach him. But for the most part, my grandmama held down the fort with my daddy. Like, my daddy was so straight and narrow. Like, I mean, seriously.
Said my mom was so hard. She was military, because she was military. My mom raised me and my brothers. Oh no, I read that one. Give me a second. Jeff said, us fathers have to lead by example, because kids are watching us. So we need to keep in mind to let them see how we are managing our lives as well around them. And that's the whole key. I think, how are you managing life around you? Are you teaching them great and good work ethics? Or I have to just go back to the morals and the values that a man that you're teaching that young man how to get out here and be productive in society with people.
That's right.
Because sometimes people just don't know how to navigate in the space of society, and everything is an issue with them, and it's challenging. Because you don't know how, you jump on the defense about everything, and you figure everybody is at you because you don't recognize how to have the healthy conversations, and there's an issue, everything turns into an argument with you, not just your relationship, but with people, because you don't identify, because you were never taught by that man how to communicate effective with the world. But I bet you your mama can teach you that.
Right. But even as a father, I think you should be able to, you know how we say in relationships, we want to see people in seasons, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think your children should see you in those things too. If you're an active father, your child should see you. If you mad, how you handle
That's
anger.
right.
If you're emotional, they should be able to see you if in those states. So to see how you maneuver through those emotions, how you maneuver in these areas, that's important too. Not just the times when I'm tough, I'm the man, and this is what I want you to see. No, he needs to see you in all aspects of your manhood. And then we talk about success. You think about these NBA players, these businessmen who are very successful, right? And how many of them have been raised by in a single home by just their mother?
Facts.
So how can we say it definitely has to take a two-parent household? Not all the time. You got some successful men out here that will tell you in a minute, let me thanks to my mother,
And then,
Yeah.
right? But
like, what y'all forget is life also teaches you lessons. So there may have been things that their mother may not have taught them. This is like when men go off to college, women too. When you go out to college and you get in different surroundings, you learn different things about yourself. You learn different things about your body, your nature, all those
Mhm.
things. And sometimes some parents, they might not hit the mark. The mark doesn't mean that they not good parents or not. They just didn't know how to communicate those things. But I
That's
think,
right.
like, men grow and mature at the rate of their environment. And I mean, that's the most important thing I think we've said on the call. Doesn't matter for me. I don't feel like it matters if it's a man or a woman, but I do. Like I said, I feel very concretely on the fact that a lot of men say this, especially when it comes to boys not being as hard, or they feeling like they're a little too soft, or they crying too much and stuff like
Mhm.
that. I think that's when that boy need a man in his life, come into play.
Mhm.
Tanisha
But
just
he
said,
need the
I don't
right
feel like
man
a
though.
boy. I'm sorry, Mello. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No,
No, that was so.
I was saying he just need the right man though, not just any man.
That's right. And that's why I say when we talk about a two-parent household, again,
Hmm.
you need the right man. And people would say, well, I'm saying men with value, men with values, but guess what? Even the man who's sitting up watching TV all day feel like he's doing some of the right things.
Who playing on the game all day with no
He feel
job,
like he's doing
no
some of the right
ambition,
things.
no
So at
nothing?
the end of
Right.
the day, it's all about what are you what are you raising the bar, and how are you wanting your child to be raised? What are the things you're wanting your child to learn? And we all are going to have difference of opinions on what that looks like.
Right.
But at the
Hmm.
end of the day, we're talking about being able to step into the world and do the things that you can be productive in society, and be successful, whatever you call success for yourself.
Right.
And it ain't about cutting the grass, because I'm gonna tell you what some men believe, and I think this is an old school thing. Um, maybe not. Just because Amanda said it, don't make it right. I believe that they feel like if boys can't get out here and get dirty and tough, um, that they're not a man's man. And I beg to differ on that. Y'all talk to me. I'm gonna read Tanisha's comment first. I don't feel like a boy should only be led by his father, but the mothers as well, because it helps balance out the child's life. It's a thing of being manly, but also having some nurturing in that.
Exactly.
That's correct. I agree.
Hmm.
That said, I was told to move out, don't think twice about ever coming back, and I became a very responsible adult, and I'm standing strong. And like to Mella's point, you just learn things along the way.
You
Um,
Mm-hmm.
do.
and the surroundings. My dad taught me many valuable life lessons. Even if he didn't agree with me, he loved me unconditionally. Great to hear.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I took the good with the bad and made the best of it. Let me see. And Antonio said that about his mother raised him. She was military. She was hard. All right, what we got? What do y'all think about what I just mentioned?
When you just said a second ago about the whole
I agree.
manly and being dirty, I agree. Because my thing is, but are you teaching them how to handle themselves in public? Are you teaching them how to have basic communication skills? I struggle with that with my daughter because this new generation, they're so phone focused, right, Milo? They don't care about interacting with people. So now I have to kind of push her out to, you order your own stuff. You go in the store and handle it on your own because that's life. That's
Right.
life. So as a man, you teaching him to be hard and manly, but are you teaching him life skills? Does he know how to go in the bank and handle his business? Does
Right,
he know how to go and ask a question to somebody without being afraid to ask for help when he needs it? So, but what other values are you teaching him outside of cutting the grass and changing the oil? What other things are you teaching him? Because that's not all what life embodies.
Right.
It's just not.
I mean, I just feel like, and again, Mello don't know everything. Mello just see a lot of things and observe. I mean, I just think I've watched